Alright then, welcome everyone. We're gonna try a different game this time. Still belongs to strategy, though a lot closer to roguelike. The name is Slay the Spire. It's a procedurally generated dungeon crawler roguelike deck building game. I hope this covers all the bases. It's out in Steam. It's I think early access, but it's pretty good. I've been giving it a shot since yesterday. I wanted to share with you all how I play. You can ask any questions that you would like to know about the game or about my moves in chat. I'll try to explain some of the turns, but most of the time I'll look forward and maybe explain a little bit of my choices. Since I already played a bit, I have already 2 characters, but I'm trying to unlock everything with all of them. So first we'll finish the runs with the Ironclad, and then since I think I will enjoy this character more, we'll devote our time to the Silent way more. So we begin with the Ironclad. The game has a system where it rewards you to try to get as far as you can instead of re-rolling until you get a favorable start. So this type of god thing grants you 1 extra power if you manage to beat the first boss, which already takes quite some time, so that you cannot rush a restart over and over until you get what you like. These options that you're giving are usually random between a selection of like 7 good things that you can get. Cards are important in the game. We will accumulate a lot of them. Potions are mildly important, so I'm not inclined to choose something like this. The condition why this has no negative sides to it, as we will talk soon about them, is because it's random and you cannot really select which type of card you're gonna get. So it could be a random react card that does not play to your playstyle or whatever. You are offered a relic for obtaining a curse. A curse is a negative card that is very hard to get rid of, but once you get rid of, you basically obtain a random rare relic. I'm very interested in this one. And then I'm offered a random boss relic in exchange for losing my starting relic. This is interesting. The boss relics are the best, but our starting relic heals us after every combat, and as with any roguelike, healing or keeping your health up is the key aspect of it. I've never had this option, so we are gonna go for a random rare relic and trade it for a curse. So the curse, okay, we can check our deck here. How does the game work? So the game lets you start with 10 cards in your deck. These are basic cards, so to speak, and you are able to add 1 card to your deck almost every time you beat an encounter. And then as you accumulate new cards and then you get rid of old cards, maybe you will make your deck closer to what type of gameplay you want to get. In this case, we got a bad card, as a curse, as we mentioned, and it's a regret, which means whenever we draw this card in our hand, we will not be able to play it, but additionally, at the end of the turn, we will lose 1 HP for each card in our hand, counting this one, so that means we lose at least 1 HP. Okay, so we will try to find ways to get rid of this card throughout the gameplay. But what we got in return was that at the start of each combat, we can discard any number of cards and then draw that many. So basically we get to mulligan if we so desire. I've never had this one, but it's actually great because sometimes you build a deck that absolutely wants to have certain opening pieces. So there are powers, there are skills, and there are a lot of things that you may be looking for that it's much better when they start in your hand than when you draw them later in the game. But this is the beginning. We get shown a path towards the boss. This will be the location of the boss. And there's a legend to understand what type of game we're going to play. So, for example, if we land in this spot, we'll be offered the option to rest. If we land in this spot, it's gonna be an elite enemy, which is like a mini boss and gives better rewards. This is a normal enemy. This is a merchant where we could buy our relics, cards, or potions. This is a random encounter, which could be any of the above. I don't think I've ever gotten to rest, but I guess that's possible. Sometimes you get treasures, and a lot of times you get unique encounters, unique, kind of like faster than light, non-combat places, where you have some choices, and depending on the choice that you make, you obtain a reward or you don't. It even depends on if you have the right items or not that you have accumulated throughout the run. There's also chests which just contain relics and usually positive things. And then the rest is randomly generated. There are some things that will never change. The last step is always fire. The chest is always equal at all points, so there is never a chest alone distributed around, so you don't have to go like pixel hunting if you wish. But what changes the most is the amount of unknowns encounters you can find and the elite monsters. And given the type of gameplay I enjoy, I really like to go for the elites because they drop more loot, and more loot makes me happy. So I examine a path that contains as many elites as I can hit. In this case, I think 2 of them. Yeah. And once I lock onto that path, I like to choose as many question marks as I can. I think this has a lot, but it's not positive. Okay, so either of these 2 will be fine because I'm planning to go to this ones and then continue that way. I'm gonna go for the left. And this is battle. So in battle, oh okay, so before we go on, in battle you get to do 2 things. First one, you get to see what the enemy is about to do. I'm gonna show what they want to do first, and then you get to see your cards. We have 3 energy, which will be equivalent to 3 mana, and other than that, all our actions are ready to be played. We are going to mulligan this card, so that it goes to our discard pile, and then we'll ignore it for at least a few rounds. Excellent. And the game goes like this. At the start of your turn, you draw 5 cards, unless something modifies that. And at the end of the turn, you will discard all the remaining cards. So there's almost no reason to keep a card in hand and choose to not use it or something. Once the draw pile is empty, because we have either spent all the cards or whatever, when we are about to draw the next card, and this is 0, the whole discard pile will be shuffled in, and then we'll be able to continue drawing cards. So this is not a game where you can run out of cards. The idea is that you keep playing until you're done. Okay, so let's examine the basic rules. Each turn we have 3 energy at the beginning. Some of the cards cost 1, some of the cards cost 2. Some of the cards apply extra status effects. For example, this one applies 2 points of vulnerable, which means it would make the enemy vulnerable for 2 turns. And what does that mean? It says right there in the tooltip, it will make creatures take more damage from attacks. So while this costs 2 and doesn't deal 2 cards of damage, it will make it easier for the rest of the time to kill the enemy. The block normally only works for the turn that you use this. So if this enemy were to attack us for, let's say, 5 points of damage, we could play this card and negate that damage. But if we play it now, we get absolutely nothing out of it, because the enemy is not attacking, and instead we just waste 1 of our mana points. And how do you tell what the enemy is doing? First, they'll get an icon, and you can mouse over and see what the icon means. For example, this one says strategic, the enemy intends to use a buff. And since I already fought this monster a few times, I can tell you he always starts with a buff that lets him increase his power every turn. So the faster I kill this monster, the less damage I will get on my side. That's why I'm gonna start with a bash, and then a strike, and then move forward. Okay, so now we can see he will deal 6 damage, and I already see that I only have 2 strikes and 3 of these block cards. Using 3 of them makes no sense. Using 2 would let me prevent all the damage. However, because of this relic, I'm okay thinking up to 6 damage total. So I'm gonna go 1 block and deal damage twice. He will hit me, and then at the end of the turn he will gain 3 power, So next turn he will hit for 9 instead. There you go. So we really want to finish this monster off. Sadly, we will not be able to do it. So we think again. Regret is gonna deal damage to us for every card I keep. And I can only use 3. I can already see this. I can only use 3. That means Regret will hit us for 2 damage. And I really don't want to take any more from this. So I will use 2 defense and then 1 strike. Put him in range of the next turn for a kill. We'll get hit for 9. But nothing because we had 10 block in total. And then we'll just bash his face and win. We get healed as promised. We pick up money. We pick up a potion. And then we get to add a card to our deck. Alright, so of the choices here, let me explain a little bit. Strength increases any text that says deal damage by that amount. So for example, if we were to use flex, if we were to gain 2 strength, this would read 6, this would read 14. So in a card that is free and low power, strength is amazing. So in a card that already deals a lot of damage and maybe costs 3 points, 2 strength means nothing. However, I know the type of build I like to build, so I'm gonna choose strength. And potions, yes. You can keep up to 3 potions between battles, and these persist. And they usually have an immediate action, like for example, draw 3 cards. So if we find a situation where drawing 3 cards would have been amazing and would help us win the turn, or the game, or the match, or the fight, then we would use this potion, lose it of course, and draw the 3 cards. But for now, we move forward onto the next battle. Now that we have 2 enemies, there are cards that let you strike multiple enemies. We don't have any right now, but we may try to find some in the future. So my options right now are to block, or just go all strike. I only have 1 block, but I think 1 block is fine because what we plan to do is block here, kill this tiny slime, pass the turn, only take 3 damage, and up to 6 is fine. Alright, so this is what the game calls a status effect. Status effects are cards added to your deck that have conditions. For example, this one, we will always draw and it doesn't go away until we cast it. It has no effect other than removing it from the game. So basically we need to spend 1 energy to clear ourselves from the slime. But we will ignore it for now, and hopefully it will not come back to bite us. Okay, so now we see where deck building matters. Now that we got the strength buff, it's cool. However, we have 3 defense blocks, defense cards. The reason why this is bad is because we cannot make good use of the flex, so only 1 strike, but also the enemy is not even attacking, so this is gonna be mostly a bad turn. But the punishment is not too big. We just deal less damage than expected. We could have used the potion there to draw the extra cards, but I don't think it was worth it. Okay, so the enemy, the enemy put frail on us, which means if we were to try to defend, we will not get the right amount. However, they're still doing another debuff, that's why we can ignore it. So we lost already 6 health. We can try to win this turn. There we go. And recover the 6 health thanks to our burning blood. Continue adding. Clash is very good. But another flex is amazing at this point. Okay. Now we start going for the question marks. Interesting. Okay, so we are offered to upgrade a card and maybe take an injury, which is a curse, or to obtain a relic and very likely get this curse. I'm gonna go for this because I will look forward to finding ways to getting rid of the curses because we already have 2 of them. We get the curse, however the relic we get is the pen nib. Every 10th attack deals double damage. We can pay attention to this and then have an excellent turn dealing double damage. We go for the question mark again. We'll always juggle with our health in order to gain things, in this case good amount of gold. Excellent. So this is a good example. This is a random encounter that lets us either forget, change, or grow. Normally we would go for a grow, lets us upgrade a card. Every card can be upgraded to its better version, and some of them become absolutely insane. So this could be a very good consideration. However, with forget, we can just remove one of them. Do we do the damage one or do we do normality? Let's remove the damage. There we go. Now it's gone forever, and now we use the event very successfully. So our options are to go to the right, have a fire, and then fight a boss. And then we swivel to the left here, and then we'll get this other boss. Okay, I like it. I like passing through the fire first because it lets us upgrade one of our cards. And the card we're gonna upgrade is Bash. Bash already costs has a super high cost. However, if we upgrade it, we get to apply 3 vulnerable instead, which is a much better bang for 2 mana. Okay, so I know this encounter. What will happen now is that these units will swap between attacking for 8 or dealing with this debuff, and what the debuff does is put 2 status effects on our discard pile. So the faster I can control them, the better the game becomes. And I believe I will go full auto for this unit here, so that at least I will always only have one attacker, because next turn it's gonna be this guy doing a debuff and these 2 guys doing the attack. So what I'm gonna do is mulligan the 2 defense and hope for a power. We didn't get a power. We got the normality, which is fine because we only plan to play 3 cards this time. Excellent. We'll take the 8. This is a boss, so taking damage is completely normal. We see the status effects already. Okay, so this could be a very good turn. We get the 2 flexes, and we already see the increased damage, and now we can absolutely kill this guy. Good, so 1 is down. We are already now in a more controlled situation. From now on we can try to use 1 block every turn and then stop a lot of the damage, or in this case use 2 blocks and stop all of the damage. We'll begin killing the one with the lowest health. We'll take 8. Okay, let me speak about the... So those cards that we get from the debuff are cards that we are obligated to draw, and so we cannot play them, and they're called ethereal, which means if we don't play it, which we cannot do, they will disappear from the deck for the rest of the combat. So basically it is forcing us to draw blank cards that will be gone right after. Okay, so we get another round with flex. We may consider using the swift potion in case we get the other flex, but I believe this is as good as we're gonna get. Let's do a little math. We apply vulnerable for 12, or we apply for 14, and then if we attack with 10 it becomes a 15. That's 29, is also not a kill. Okay, so it's not worth using the potion. We did some quick math just to prove that it's not useful. We're still in very good health. At the end of the run of the level, you get all your health back, so we shouldn't worry about that. Okay, so now we see there's like 3 status effects, and then these 2 cards are not enough to get the kill here. So what we're gonna do is drink the potion, and with 1, 2, 3, make sure that we get the kill. Sadly, we cannot, because of normality, we cannot play this defend, but it doesn't matter because we kill the unit attacking us. So we still get more debuff. This turn he attacks, so now we could alternate between 2 defense and 1 strike, and then the next turn we just go all out attack. And now he will deal 0 damage, so we are in a very controlled situation right now. Okay, we'll get rid of all these debuffs. I guess that's good enough for a turn. Now it's time to do some damage. Those are all our options. We'll still take 3, but that's perfectly fine. Flex, attack, attack, win. Alright, so as we mentioned before, killing the bosses gives a lot of good things, a lot of gold. And then this one, the next 2 chests you open contain 2 relics. Okay, so this means whenever we go to the next chest, we will get extra relics out of it. We also get a card. Alright, so we already see one of the powers. This is a deck building power. I will explain why soon. Anger or power through. Okay, so a card like this is a complete deck builder. It makes it so that once we use it, block no longer expires at the end of the turn, which means if we take less damage than what we block for a turn, it will start accumulating more and more block up to ridiculous numbers. I believe I had a run with like 200 or something block, which didn't go away, so the boss had no way to kill me. Then in that run I died at the final boss because I didn't get this card quick enough in the battlefield. But I already think I'm going to take Anger because it's free and we are planning to go for a strength build. Okay, now we have a normal encounter, so we'll try to deal with it quickly. The enemy starts with an 11 hit, so we are going to discard these 2 cards. If we draw 2 blocks, okay, we don't. That's good enough. If we drew 2 blocks, I would have tried to block and minimize this damage, but we didn't. So we're gonna go all in by using Flex, applying Vulnerable, using the free attack of Anger, and then using a normal attack. Sure, we'll take 11 damage, but the combat is almost over, and that's our reward. Now we do 1 and it's dead. Good job. Okay, so this is the type of cards that I want to have thanks to because of this strength build. It's 1 and it hits twice, which means the bonus from strength gets doubled. So for example, if we were to use Flex, we would deal 7 damage twice. So cards like this pay themselves very well. Go for the double relic thanks to our relic. So we get a frozen egg. Whenever we add a power, it's automatically upgraded. Okay, that's interesting. And then whenever we rest, we may add a card to our deck. That's also interesting. So we wanted to go left. This may be the opportunity to rest. We can look at something to smith. However, I don't see anything particularly urgent. So let's take a rest. Rest heals you for 30% of your HP, which in this case is 24. And in addition, because of the thingy we just got, we get to add a new card. And since we're going to go for a strength build, this card has a way to get to use the strength completely strongly. Sorry. We go to a merchant. A merchant can be skipped, but there are some very good options from it. I believe Reaper is the best option right now. We will examine everything. For example, this one, when you add an attack, it's upgraded. This is really good. I'm very inclined on buying this. Apotheosis. Apotheosis is also insane. I'm also very inclined in buying this. Thanks to one of our relics, if we buy this, it's automatically upgraded. I believe that means we draw 2. Never mind. Whenever we lose HP from a card, okay, it's while it's a possibly good card, I really don't want to use something that makes me lose HP right now. I don't believe we're built for it, so we will ignore it. Usually there's a card on sale, but in this case, I don't like it. Exhaust, as we remember, removes a card from the deck. until the combat is over, which could mean it's a very good card or not. This one would have been perfect with the one that lets you block and keep the block. And Reaper is really good because it heals, and as we saw, heals are very important. However, Apotheosis is really, really good. This, I've never seen this. Okay, we're still gonna go for this. And with the remaining 75 gold, we can pay for this card removal service, which includes this card, the Curse. Goodbye. And now we are as strong as we could be right now. Cool, so we move forward. Find another battle. I know this guy will split in two when he goes below half health. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of 3 of them and hope for a lot of flexes. Okay, we got 1 flex. However, we also found Apotheosis, and we get to upgrade all our cards for the rest of combat. Also remove this card so that we don't see it again, which is insane. Now this gives us 4 strength instead of 2, and sorry, the upgrade is only for the until the end of the match. And the reason why this would deal so much damage right now, so maybe we could have paid attention to that. Wow, this would have been a kill. I feel super bad now. Okay, the reason why this does so much damage now is because the pen is active. That means double damage. And in situations like this, for example, this card uses 5 times the effect of strength. In cases like this, we could have just killed this unit in 1 turn. But we didn't pay attention, so we get the least amount of punish ever. Okay, so with all these cards now upgraded, you can see that they're all called plus. You can already see how strong upgrade itself is. So what we're gonna do is take advantage of all these upgrades and just kill the enemy in 1 shot. This battle was flawless, which means we get to heal for the future, and this is why this Beckoning Relic is so important for this character. We take Twin Strike. Between the question mark and a thing, even if the rest is the same, I'll pick the question mark. We may get to upgrade. Sometimes you get a battle. This is nothing crazy. We find 2 Twin Strikes, so what we're gonna do is mulligan for the flexes. We didn't get them, however we got the bash, which increases the damage they take. So we do a little bit of extra damage. We'll take 10, that's perfectly fine. We'll heal 6. He would also try to, in 3 turns, to leave the battle, so every time he hits us he steals gold. However, since we're killing him, we are not afraid of this. That's enough for the kill. So we technically just lost 4 HP. We get a potion, we get to draw cards. Pommel Strike is great, because not only does it deal a little bit more damage than the normal strike, it's also called Strike, which is important. I'll show maybe in the future if we get the correct cards. It draws 1 card, but when it's upgraded, it draws 2 cards. So I really appreciate Pommel Strike. Go for the boss. Okay, so this boss... Okay, this boss is on the strong side, which means I will try to defeat him as fast as possible. To do so, I'm gonna mulligan for the second flex. We don't get it, that's fine. He will cast a thing, a buff, that makes him stronger every time I use a skill. So I'm trying to use all the skills right now. However, I only got 1, but this is still fine. We got this, we got this, we got this. This is a great start. We just dealt like more than half the damage. We could go for the extra draws, but I think I will keep this for the future. Let's see what the next turn brings us. Something to notice, which is what this boss is trying to do. Blocking is also a skill, which means just trying to block will make him stronger. But at this point, so we have 2 options. Either we take 6, or we go for the Apotheosis and we make everything stronger. And I'm very inclined in taking 8, that's fine. And if I were to use this, while he would gain 2 more strength, he would be reduced to dealing only 2 damage to us. There we go. So now we only take 2. which is perfectly fine. Alright, so I believe we can finish this turn. We'll start with the flex, go for a bash, and then finish with a double strike. Perfect. We get a new thingy. On pickup, upgrade to random skills. Hopefully it's the gray card that we want upgraded. We didn't get that, that's a shame. We add a card. Sword Boomer. Oh, these two are very good. I'm gonna go for Thunderclap. Okay, so this time instead of resting, because we are very healed, we want to make sure to upgrade this one, because now it will cost only 1. And that's just amazing. And now we go for the boss. Alright. This boss in particular is... it has 2 phases. When we deal this 30 damage indicator that says here, it turns into a ball and then reflects damage. But it's good because while he's unfurled, he deals extra damage himself. So we have 2 options. Either we mulligan for Apotheosis, which should be somewhere in these remaining cards, or we stay as we are and we apply 4 vulnerable, which is a very decent start. That's what we're gonna do. So we, you know, we can mulligan the cards that we know we're not gonna use. I guess that's fine. Excellent, we found it. Okay, so we use Apotheosis, and then we apply the bash. Vulnerable 3 is already good enough. So the unit charge ups, gains a little bit of shields, and would do a ton of damage, but we're gonna do our best to not let that happen. And as I mentioned, a Pommel Strike upgraded draws 2 cards, so what we're gonna do is start with Flex, it's free. Draw 2, find the Twin Strike. Is this less? No, okay. We just go for the Twin Strike. Boop, boop. And then this unit gains 20 armor when he furls. However, his attack got cancelled, so we can just use whatever. Because at the start of the next turn, they lose this armor. Okay, this is what we mentioned. The 3 extra... this is like a Thorns thingy, where they return the damage whenever we attack. It happens whenever we play an attack, so we have to pay attention to that. So we go for the flex. We go for 1 defend, so that we first gain the block, and then we do the damage. That's all good. Feels pretty good. We'll take 9. As we mentioned before, however, if we survive this battle, the act ends, which means we get to heal to full. That's why I'm not too worried about my own health. I do want to apply bash again, so that's cool. And then we will go for a strike plus. We're still in good health, which is why I'm not afraid of this. So now he's unfurled again. He will start with a 20 hit, and then he will continue with I don't even remember. I think he has a stronger attack next turn, but I'm pretty sure I can deal this 40 damage, maybe even this turn. What will I do though? So Thunderclap applies 1 vulnerable. It's an AoE attack, but it's good enough here. Okay, we got it. So in 1 turn we eliminated his advantage. So now he will Thorns again, which is fine, because we reduce his damage a lot. Also we cancel his turn. Pretty good. Get to flex, and finally you get to see the heavy blade plus the flex. First we do a Pommel Strike to see if we draw something else. We don't. Heavy blade, get the kill. The boss is dead. Congratulations! Get enough money. Choose a boss card, which are basically rarer cards than normal. What do we see? This is a power for when we are below health, but we don't like to be below half health. This one is very interesting, and I think I'm gonna pick it. I will explain soon why. And then draw extra cards for a cost of 1 HP. Okay, I don't want to do this yet. So why is double tap amazing? Because when we upgrade it, it means this turn your next 2 attacks are played twice. Which in case of, for example, the strong attack that we just saw, it means we just double it Or when we do some life draining, we can double the life drain, and so on. The chest contains a boss relic, which are usually very, very good. Oh, interesting. Okay, so getting an extra action is usually very, very good, but I don't really want to pay the price of not knowing what the enemy is doing. Drawing extra cards at the start of each combat is great. However, wait, draw 2 extra cards each turn. Okay, this is slightly interesting. It would lead us to a very weird game, but I believe the cards we already picked don't let us do this. Mainly because of confused. So confusion in this case would make us gain random costs for every card every time we draw them, but we have so many 0 cards that we really don't want to change that cost. Costs always vary between 0 and 3, so 3 is the maximum you can get with this, even with randomization. We could just get to add 5 cards, but this to me seems like the weakest. So maybe I will just get brave and take the runic dome and learn to play at least this round without seeing what the enemy is about to do. Okay. Same procedure. We would like to hit as many elites as we can. We see one over here. We see another one over here. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. None of these can be caught at the same time. There's another one here, and I believe that's the end of it. Okay, that means the right side is exactly what we want to take. We'll take it with all that it means, which means a lot of tiny enemies. But what can you do? Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to mulligan, and we want to mulligan this and this and this. We are looking for our free cost spells and apotheosis as well. We didn't get any, so what we're gonna do is, okay, I already know this guy, and I believe he starts adding more defense, so we're just gonna attack as much as we can. I believe we could have used the last card as well, doesn't matter. Perfect, apotheosis is here. We have the pen, which means we should use it on a very strong strike, for example this. Yeah, this is fine. Boop, boop. We use a pommel. We find the flex. And we consider a final strike or a defend. Okay, since we don't know what he's gonna do, we just attack. I guess we'll take some damage. That's an attack. Attack for 10. 10 is fine. Now we just bash his face and he's dead. Or maybe strike. There we go. Gold potions. Excellent. So Pummel normally would only deal 4 damage. But remember, strength applies to each attack. That means we'll get 4 times the increase in strength. Alternatively, I could go for another Thunderclap, which I also like a lot. Especially because this one gets exhausted. Let's go for the Thunderclap. It's more sure damage. And I really enjoy that. Alright. Okay, so these particular birds, they like to attack. But their trick is, if we hit them 3 times in a turn, they will fall to the ground and get stunned. While they're flying, they take half damage. So what we want to do is find our cheapest attacks. And this is why we mulligan everything that is not an attack. Even the flex would have been good, but an ability like this just hits twice and then reduces 2 of this counter. So now we can bring this down to earth, put a little bit of block, continue hitting it, because why not? Now this unit is stunned, it doesn't act, and some of these will attack me for 5, and I guess for 5 again. There we go. We find Apotheosis, that's amazing. A Thunderclap, as mentioned before, a great spell. Wait, first flex. Thunderclap. Pommel Strike. Draw 2. Excellent. So, interesting. So we have many options here. One of them would be Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna twin strike the guy that has 2 charges so that he falls down. Actually, he dies. And then anger on this guy so that he falls down to the ground. Double tap would have been good, but it would have costed us 1 mana too many. We get 5 plus 3, we can absolutely ignore that. Thunderclap, that we did it. Good job. Okay, so now we are up to 3 potions, so we value them less when we are full, because if you find a new potion you cannot use it for obvious reasons. We'll take Warcry, it lets us do selection of cards, so if you have played Magic, there are many similar. I think Brainstorm would be the closest equivalent. This is the unit that we met at the beginning, so we want to kill it fast. However, this one will take some time before it becomes aggressive. So what we can do is we keep the heavy and the twin, and we hope to find flexes. We didn't, however we found Apotheosis, which is always good to have. And then we will just attack. We are sure that this turn they're both doing special things. I believe this one gives us a Hex. Suffer. There we go. Which will make us add a Dazed into our draw pile. So here in the real deck, for every time we use a non-attack, which we'll have to use quite a bunch. For example, this Flex. This Thunderclap. No, that's an attack, that's fine. So now we can do a strike here, get a kill, and then apply vulnerability for 4 turns, which is nice. We'll probably take some damage from this. Oh no, it's a debuff. Cool. So we are weakened now. Weakened condition makes us deal less damage. However, we are so well equipped for this that we don't fear that. We'll start with a pommel to draw more in case we get extra attack. We didn't. So we continue with this, and then with this, and then the combat is over. Nice. We're back to full health. So we're playing quite well. Some of the rewards later on can start directly upgraded, which is great. We're interested in this one. Applying 3 weak is also pretty good sometimes, especially on bigger units. But gaining 11 block and drawing 1 is also pretty good. But since we don't know what the enemy is doing, we're gonna go for this. Go for the next battle. It's a Snecko. We're very happy with the Apotheosis, so let's try to fish for other cards. Excellent. Apotheosis to begin. Flex, flex, pommel strike, draw more, make weak for 3 turns. This is great. Okay, so now we applied weakness to them. That means they will deal way less damage. We got confusion applied to us. That is fine. The numbers will change, but we'll make use of either the heavier spells or spells that randomly got a cheaper cost. This is not a good round though. As you see, this is what I wanted to mention before. Even if we drew more cards, if everything costs 3, it's just our entire turn, and that's uncool. And confusion has a tendency to not go for 0. So heavy blade over here, a block, and that's the turn. We get hit for 11, however only 3 damage goes through. Double tap costs 2, normally costs 1, but I think it's fine enough because Thunderclap in this case costs 0. Double Thunderclap means 2 wounds, which is great. And we're gonna go for a strike because that's a sure one. And then we defend and see how we pass the turn. Another bite. It's for 11. We only took 6 damage. If we get a kill this turn, which I see already happening, we'll be fine. As I mentioned before, we value the potions more. However, I believe we can get rid of this one and replace it for this. This explosive potion is good when you have many tiny enemies. and the strength and the draw potions are the good ones, so we can use this one as a buffer when we want to replace it. Alright. This applies weak and vulnerable for 1 turn, but it's good enough if we can duplicate it. Clash is great, but we can only use it if we only have attacks in our hand. I like Clash, let's take it. Yet another fight. I believe this is more of a support character, so we will try to kill it first. And since we want to deal with this character later, I believe mulliganing these cards in order to find the flexes or better attacks is a good idea. Okay, so start with a bash, add 3 vulnerable, go for a pommel strike, find apotheosis. This makes us happy, we use it, we take whatever comes to us. This is an attack, 6, 6, that's 12. This is another attack, 7. We took quite a bit of damage, that's a little bit of a shame. But now we feel much better, because we start off... okay, so we got weakened, so we have to pay attention to that. Is this a kill? No, it's not. Is this a kill? No, it's not. Okay, so we're gonna go for double defend, 1 thunderclap, and a kill. We hope that this unit is attacking. There we go. Again 12. We're blocked. It's all good. Okay, so this is a good turn. We start with a double tap and a defend. However, what we want to do is the flex, then the clash for max damage, hit twice, and then this attack, hit twice. That was pretty good. I guess we could have drawn 3 cards to finish the combat, but it's fine to take 2 more damage. It's all good. What do we want to do? We want to flex, thunderclap, this thing, and it's dead. Perfect. I think another pommel strike is amazing, so that's what we go for. We should try to recover some health, even if we're at 65, because next one is a boss. And for a thing like this, I actually like this opening. So what we want to do in this opening, but it's a non-upgraded opening. So still, we can go for flex, thunderclap, flex, yeah, thunderclap, double tap, heavy blade, and probably kill the guy in the back. Maybe mulligan just 1 strike, because we're not gonna use it. Excellent, we got rewarded. So, flex, thunderclap, double tap. So this would be 60 damage. I really like this. So 60 damage over here, and then get a kill. Wow, that was insane. Will we get punched? Yes, that's a shame. But 8 damage, that is perfectly fine. Okay, so now we can go for normal damaging things. I believe we can skip Warcraft for now. Adds a little bit of strength. It doesn't matter. This thing is dead. We just go for normal attacks. Don't even bother with apotheosis, and the combat is over. I really don't like any of these. I guess a second clothesline cannot hurt, or maybe it can hurt us. I don't know. Okay, we find apotheosis, and I think since I don't know what's gonna happen, I would like to go for more defenses. That's what we get. That's fine. We go for full upgrade. I'm thinking of applying clothesline to something. And then the question is, do we go for a tiny attack and vulnerable, or do we just clothesline and defense? I actually like that, so maybe that's how I start. And this guy is probably gonna buff them, because I really don't remember this encounter. However, I believe this guy always starts with damage, so I'm gonna weaken him and see what happens. Maybe I was wrong. I was correct. We take 5 instead of whatever other number. This guy wounds us, and this guy takes even more health out of us. As you remember, this is a boss fight, an elite encounter, so that's why we should use some of our stuff. Let's drink a strength potion and see where we go from here. Also use this. Pummel, because we want to draw more cards. Excellent. We get rewarded. We can Thunderclap now. Many things die because our strength is currently at a crazy level. We're plus 10. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drink another potion. See what else we can find. We see a Pommel Strike here. Pommel Strike is amazing. This is 22 damage. That's a kill. And then we can use Warcry to try to fish for a better attack. We find Clash, which we cannot use, so that's a shame. Let's put Clash back on the top of the deck, so we can use it next turn. And the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm tempted to just defend. Sadly, we could not get double tap in time, so that we cannot use it. This will be 21, so it's not enough for a kill. So we can defend and mitigate any type of damage. Okay, we blocked the 7, that was a good move. And now everything is an attack, that means you die, and you die. We had that. Okay, we got a new relic. Whenever an enemy dies... Oh, this is great, I never had this. Okay, so on fights with multiple enemies, we may be able to combo off. A regeneration potion, which will heal us over time. And then a new card. I believe Flex wins. So we really like drawing cards, and we already have enough clotheslines. Maybe we don't have enough. We'll pick it because it's upgraded, and we enjoy that. We're looking for Apotheosis, so let's go for that. Maybe we keep the Twin Strike and the Flex, because that's a good fallback in case we don't get what we want. We were correct. This guy does the tiny buff at the beginning, this guy does the Hex. I don't think we can kill either of them right now. Let me do the math. This will be 12. This will be another 12. So that's 24. This would be 21. That's so 24, 60, no, 45, and then 66. Okay, 66 is enough to kill this, but not this. So let's get rid of this guy. We don't have enough energy. Fair enough. I was missing the math. Okay, so instead of getting the Hex, this guy went for Siphon, which is perfectly fine for us. We can use Clothesline to just lower this. So what we're gonna do is start here. I could also just kill. Also apply this. Also apply this. 4 damage. Okay, let's make it simple. We want to kill this guy and then apply this here. Okay, yes, we get an action back, right. Now I can consider, okay, still, we're gonna go for this and then the upgraded. Cool, so we have the pen, that means next turn we may use a double damage strike at the beginning. Let's see if we find something cool. This is 18, this is 21. Excellent. So what we're going to do is use the defense so that we can use Clash and go for a maximum Clash. Sorry, go for a maximum Clash. There we go. Keep applying the weakness and then attacking. Hopefully this is enough to reduce whatever damage is incoming to just 8. We took 1 point of damage. That is perfectly fine. Find Apotheosis, makes us happy. Go for Warcry first, see if we can find better options. We don't, so we just put Clothesline back. Thunderclap, draw 2, strike. I hope we don't take a lot of damage. 14 and plus 2 vulnerable. That's not cool. That's a lot. Okay. We do get to do double tap and attack, and that should be the end. Oh, okay. This is one of the cards I was mentioning. This one deals 6 damage plus 3 for all the cards that say strike in the title, which are the basic cards, but also everything that says strike. And if we look at our deck, these are the strikes. This is a strike. This is a strike. This is a strike. So we see we already have a ton of increases to this. I like that card. A chest again, which means 2 relics because our thingy still exists. This one gives us block when we don't block. And this deals damage whenever we exhaust a card. I guess those are nice. We find a merchant, which is good because we have accumulated a lot of money. We look at the relics first. Whenever we lose HP in combat, gain 3 block. That's not good. HP full, gain action at the start of turn. This is not bad, but we can never be sure that we're gonna be full health. Upon pickup, upgrade to random attacks. This is not worth this much money. This is a bestial attack. This is a very good attack to duplicate. Metallicize. Okay, so now that we found this thingy, if we were to have both cards, so at the end of the turn gain 3 block, this one triggers first, which means if we get this played, it will always give us after the 6 from here, which means we can end all our rounds with 9 block. And I like this idea. Also, Panache is a power. We'll get the upgrade automatically because of one of our relics. And I think I really like Panache. It just deals extra damage whenever you keep on playing cards. And 10 damage is the base, and then when it gets upgraded, it's even more. I believe we can check now. It's 14 damage to all enemies. I think that's really free damage. We are commonly playing 5 or more cards per turn. In case of cards like that, if you play 10 cards, it triggers twice, and that's why we like it so much. Okay, so I already see that I'm gonna play Metallicize, and I believe we can pay for everything else. So I like exactly what we have. We're not gonna mulligan. We start with this, then we flex, then we Thunderclap for the vulnerability, then we apply weakness, then we use anger, and we pass the turn. As we can see already, every turn we're gonna have 10 block, which is amazing. Confusion affects us. It makes some things pretty bad, but I guess some other things... No, it made everything pretty bad. Okay. So that's the end of a turn. A little bit of a shame. Confusion is really bad. That's why we didn't take the relic back then. This time we get everything for 0, which is very uncommon. So we will do exactly that. Make use of all of this. And this is not a kill, but it's pretty close. Still, we get 10 armor. The bite deals only 5. We're perfectly fine. Common strike and win. Get a gold, add a card. Metallicizes stack, which inclines me to take this. However, heavy blade is already upgraded. Okay, Metallicize is a little bit rarer. That's why we take it. Boss time. It's multi-enemy boss, which inclines me to first of all go for this, but also try to find our other improver cards, better cards. We don't find it. I believe we have the relic. Whenever we exhaust, we deal a little bit of damage, so we can use this. However, first we'll apply Thunderclap, then we Warcry and see what we can dig for. We get this card, we can save it for later. Metallicize, and then I think we can just kill any of these, because this is gonna deal 54 damage. We could even go for the boss. I'm inclined to do so, but these tinies are gonna do damage. I believe he upgrades them. Ah, yes, I forgot about this. So we had the ability to chain cards and actions because of our one of our relics that gives us an action. Yeah, this, an action on a card whenever we kill an enemy. So what we're gonna do is use one of the potions. This one that was not really good. Deals 10 damage to everything. We kill the second thingy, and we find Apotheosis. The turn turned out to be great because of this. Get 10 block. Still, this guy is not even attacking this turn. Everything is upgraded. That means this is insane. This is insane. We apply a million vulnerable. We even apply a million weakness, and then we even do the clash. We get 10 block. This guy calls new, however, these are called minions, and minions flee when their master dies. So what we're gonna do is focus our damage here. I believe. Sorry, this is enough for a kill. Then these guys run, and the combat is over. I believe we took 0 damage, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we get a tiny healing for a boss fight. So that means we don't need to rest. At least it doesn't look like we need to rest. We'll take another thunderclap because we have an offensive build, and it's starting to look good. Okay, so this strike deals 36, and together with 10, it's not quite enough. Okay, so since this is not a kill, we are gonna mulligan to search for a little bit of power. Thunderclap is the power we were missing, because vulnerable will allow us to probably one-shoot this guy. 54 effectively, and we still we get the extra action because of the because of the relic that because we got a kill. So we could look into what we want to use. I believe applying 3 weak is a good idea. Get 6 armor because of the relic. Take a tiny bit of it. It's 2 damage. 2 damage is fine. Let's dig a little bit and find what a heavy blade. Okay, we don't have anything that gives us power, so we are going to go for the bash, for the clash, for the anger, for the palm strike, and we didn't get a kill, but it's pretty close. Let's see what we get. 7 damage means only you take 1. I believe this is how the game ends. Let's see, flex. Deal 10 twice, or deal 12. We begin with the 12, and then we kill it. It would have been a kill regardless. Good job. Take the rewards. Energy potion gives us 2 energy for a turn where we're going to go explosive. It's good. Explosive potion, what we used before. Okay, since this is useless because we don't know when enemies are going to be doing a great attack, that's why we're not taking it. I don't like the random idea of drawing anything and then using it. And Perfect Strike, we proved before that it's amazing. Malleable. What is this? I believe this unit gains armor every time we hit it. I'm almost sure that's it. However, we start with an Apotheosis. I already like it. Let's leave this strike out and see what we dig for. Panache. Excellent. Start with Panache. Go for Apotheosis. Have everything upgraded. So what was it? On taking attack damage, gains 3 block. Block increases as we attack. Okay, so what we want to use is the smallest one first and then the biggest one at the end. Let's use Warcry. Free damage is not counted, that's why it's not triggering right now. We put the strike below, we use flex again. We go for the small damages. Excellent. And then we go for the big one. Wow! That was brutal. We almost got a kill in 1 turn. Actually, we can still get it. Boom. Use the potion, we may get a new one now. We don't, doesn't matter. Drop kick is pretty good. It cycles for itself, especially because we're applying vulnerable a lot. So let's get it. Go for the fire. We don't need to rest because we're gonna heal 25 at the beginning of the boss battle. However, we may want to upgrade things. This only deals more damage, that's not cool. This one deals a ton more because of the strikes. That is nice. We may upgrade double tap to always have it correctly. Or war cry, but this is only showing once. Okay, let's upgrade double tap. This one is not really good when it's alone. Sorry, when it's not upgraded, and we cannot be sure to draw Apotheosis at the beginning. So off we go. Let's go for the second boss. Wait, is this the... yeah, this is the third boss. Okay, so... okay, I'm confused. I thought this was the second floor. It is the second floor. What am I saying? Okay, so I don't remember what this boss does, and since we cannot see what they do because of our runic dome, we'll be in a little bit of a trouble. So I'll consider it a race, and since it's a race, I'm gonna mulligan everything in search of Apotheosis. The sooner we get cards like that, the better it will be for us. Okay, so we don't find it. That means we just use normal things. We do the anger, and we'll drop one defend, because who knows what he starts with. Okay, that's a summon of minions. This is fine. Let's dig. Yeah, let's dig. See what we find. We find a double tap. That is okay. We'll hide the bad clothesline. Let's double tap. Draw 2, because we are doubling our attacks. Find one metallicize. That's great. And I believe if we double this, we kill this guy. So let's do that. This will give us an action and draw a card. We get to use Panache. Nothing else. Turn is over. I guess that's pretty good. Take a little bit of damage. I believe we're still perfectly fine. We still don't find the Apotheosis, so our abilities are a bit lame. Use Flex. I believe we can one-shot this. No, but very close. That's pretty good. Kill, draw a card, gain an action. I guess that's some extra damage. Let's go for a defend. Try to mitigate a little bit of damage. I guess we did. Ah, finally. Apotheosis, Metallicize, and one perfect strike. Let's go for the bash. Vulnerable for 3 is pretty good, and a little bit of damage would not kill this in the turn. This looks like a debuff. It's a debuff of everything. I guess we can live through this. I think we can use everything. So we begin with Thunderclap. We defend, so it activates Clash. We go for the Twin Strike. We go for this. No. Yes, we go for the Strike. We go for the Clash. That was quite a lot of damage. Pretty good. Let's hope we don't take a ton. We don't. He only gains strength. Good. I guess this would have affected all the minions. However, we kill them pretty quickly. Okay, so the guy is vulnerable, which means this thing pays for itself. So let's begin with this. It's a free attack. We get more defenses, so we choose to use everything else instead. This is fine. This looks good. Summon new minions. This is super good for us because it wastes his turn, and I think we may even get the kill this turn. We'll begin with a Pommel Strike. Try to draw 2. Yeah, draw 2 is correct. We don't have any strength effect, that's why this is lame. However, this is a ton of damage, 43. And then 20 more is not a kill. However, if we use this energy drink, it will be quite enough. Boop, boop, boop. The boss is dead. We are very healthy. Get a new potion. This is interesting. Oh, wait, this is also very interesting. So we have a bunch of cards that we are exhausting on purpose. So if we can drop this down, it becomes a good boon. Choose a relic. This would replace our healing thingy. I don't think this is good, because 6 is good, 10 is not really worth it. We get the possibility to draw a card whenever we get hit. This is not bad at all. And then 1 free don't die. I'll take this one. I've tried it before, and getting a ton of extra cards really helps. Especially when you only let through a tiny hit. Tiny hit. Okay, so just like before, we want to kill elites. There is a path here to take already 2. 1, 2. There's a second one here. So our next consideration, if there are equal paths, are the amount of question marks. This would be 1 or 1. I like this. 1 chest, 2. Okay, only 2. And if we were to take this path, it's already 2 here. Oh no, never mind, because we have to take this path if we want to meet the boss. 0, 1, 2, 3. But then no merchant. And I really like a merchant before the end. It lets you spend all your gold. Okay, so the path we're gonna take is this. Boop. We can even take a rest here. And then go over here. Take the chest. And then take left. This is the one I have to remember, because I have forgotten those time and time again. So we start here. Okay, these guys explode after 3 turns, I believe. So we want to kill them soon. However, 30 damage is not really a challenge for us at this point. We already see a heavy blade and a flex. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mulligan for more flexes or other types of increases. This is good. We find a metallicize, a thunderclap, a flex, which we should have used right before we just did this. What we just did, sorry. This is a 30, it's not a kill. This. So what we're gonna do is, yes, get a kill on something, gives us an action. We can use Dark Embrace and end the turn here. Take 7, take 6, actually 3, so that's good. We can heal this very soon. Alright. So this is an absolutely brutal murder. What we do is we begin with a pommel strike. Then we'll go... Is an anger enough for a kill? No. We'll go for this, get the action back. Okay, so we'll have to take... Oh, we don't have to take anything. We'll do defend, then we'll do a strike over here and get a kill. Then we don't get the damage from the kickback. Get a reward. Pommel strike or shrug it off, both are good. I'll take pommel strike. Take this path. So this thing, what did it do? I already forgot. It's a shame we cannot check right now. Okay, still, we're gonna go for the apotheosis. This is always a good start. We found it, excellent. Powerful metallicize. Try to remember what this guy does. Oh, so he gets stronger every turn. That's why we're gonna try. Okay, this is already pretty good. We gain 14 armor per turn without even doing anything. So I think this is fair. Alright, he will gain strength, however we can make him a lot weaker. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we're also gonna bash him. Are we gonna bash him? Yes, we're gonna bash him. Now that he's weak, I believe we'll be able to block his damage, whatever it is. 13, perfect. His damage is getting stronger, but we found our amazing abilities. A double tap for 2, thunderclap twice, get a lot of vulnerability, and then double strike, and everything explodes, he's dead. Grab the potion, grab an attack. Pummel is now a lot more interesting. However, this is called strike, So I'm inclined to take the strike. Yeah. As we saw, one of our strike cards dealt 39 damage base, which is insane. Then the question mark. Okay. We can embrace the madness to gain 2 madness cards and lose 10 HP, or get a curse and heal. Okay, I think the choice is obvious. Madness is decent. At when it's upgraded, it costs 0, and it turns the cost of a random card in our hand to 0 for the rest of the combat. So if we get the opportunity to use Apotheosis first, we'll be able to reduce another thing to 0. So we are gonna mulligan all of these in search of Apotheosis. We like Panache though. It's always good to keep. Start accumulating our powers. Let's hope. No, let's not use it. That's what we're gonna do. Wait, we have to use it. Okay, so we use it because we want to clash. Do we want to clash? I believe we don't. Can we draw something? No. Okay, let's use it. Ah, excellent, it worked out. So we damaged everyone a little bit. Let's get rid of this exploder. So we'll try to kill it soon. We already gained 10 armor per turn, that's great. We get dazed, these people increase their thorns, and one tries to damage us for 9, which is not effective. The bad part about Thunderclaps right now is that we trigger the thorns, which means we get hit a lot. We could start getting a kill on that unit over there. Let's do so. Find another Thunderclap. Okay, we really don't want to use that. Also, using block here would be worse than not using it. That's why we are not gonna use it. The reason for that is because if we have 0, we gain 6, but if we only use 1, then we just gain 5 instead of 6. I'm considering pummeling, but I see really no point in taking a tiny bit of damage for 10. So I'm gonna pass the turn, block for 10. Hope this is good. Get hit for 7, that's fine. This guy increases thorns, that is perfectly fine. Okay. Perfect Strike Plus. Ah, this is almost amazing. I mean, it's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna Warcry, hoping for a flex. We don't get a flex. That's perfectly fine. We drop one of the strikes. Ah, wait, this is amazing. An exhaust deals 3 damage thanks to one of our relics, which means this is now a 45 kill on this. And then we only take the thorns back once. And then we can think what we want to do with this guy. Okay, so we have to take a lot of thorns damage here. Do we? This is a 32. Okay, so we will take twice the thorns. No, we don't. I'm so confused. We have to take many times if we want to use this. Okay, so we are gonna stop hitting right now because we have already taken enough damage from it. If it attacks us, I don't think it can deal 10, correct? And we're gonna find something that lets us either kill it in one shot and only take the damage once, or give us some defense so that we can attack freely. So we're gonna spend some turns doing nothing. This guy increases thorns. Okay, we find the Apotheosis, which is great. Let's go for the block. Let's go for double tap. And now let's go for the Pommel Strike, which will be a kill. We took extra damage, that is perfectly fine. We will try to recover that. Sword Boomerang Plus, this is amazing. It's an attack that hits 4 times, and if we get to do... if we find our strength, then that means we just destroy everything. We like Panache, and now that we have this card, we would like to find Apotheosis. We don't find it. It's fine. Panache first, then this, then a defense. Why did I do the defense? I don't know, my bad. We'll draw 2 cards. As I mentioned, this card benefits from power, so we could use it, but I'm really inclined to dealing 47, which is insane. I guess we could have gone for the kill here. However, these units don't die immediately, which means the ability triggers from kills don't trigger. We'll take some damage. That's a little bit of a shame. Now damage is dangerous, so we should consider not going for the boss in the next choice. We'll look into it. Go for Metallicize. This is always a good one. All of them are attacks, so we can take this. What else can we do? We can apply weak. Let's go for this, and closed mine over here. I guess we can cancel the attack from one of them. Oh, we actually do get the... Okay, we got everything. My bad. So what I'm confused about is I really thought this didn't count as a death, because in other occasions I was able to use some attacks that would trigger on death of enemies and did nothing. So I got confused because of this. Okay, so let's block. Again, blocking was not a good idea. These units will revive after 2 turns, however this is not gonna survive the next turn. We're gonna make sure of that. The way we're gonna do it is flex. Okay, so flex, Dark Embrace, Apotheosis, Exhaust, draw 01, Thunderclap, and strike. Perfect. Grab. We drop the weak. Actually, no. At this point, we should drop the poison. We grab Regen. We grab this. What will we grab? Pommel Strike Plus. I like it. So we consider again going for the elite. We do, because I just realized we have 2 potions. These are the guys that get stronger over time. That's why I should start as strong as possible, and I think this is a very good start. I'm gonna cycle these 2 and see what happens. Oh, can we one-shot one of them? I believe so. Okay, so we will start with the Regen. We'll only take 1 because I don't know how long this combat will last. And we begin with double tap, Thunderclap, weakness, vulnerability for both, and then, wow, this is almost in itself a kill. No, it's not. No, yes it is. So I'm inclined of doing something else, like for example, no. Let's go for the kill, the one with the most health. That is brutal, that is useful. Cast Panache, get the Pommel Strike. And then that's the end of the turn. I still think that was insane. Maybe they just... No, they attack. Okay, we took 4 damage. I believe 4 damage is pretty good. We have a tiny problem now, which is if we finish the combat this round, then we won't get to use our maximum regen. So what I'm gonna do is try to go for the maximum amount of defense and survive as much as we can. So that's why I'm using weakness on them. This strike is free. However, we are taking maybe more damage than what we heal. Is this a smart idea? So this would heal us 3 per turn, and we really have no way to know if we are losing more than that. So I'm just gonna kill it. It's a shame. That's it. Doesn't matter. We heal more. Reaper is amazing. So Reaper heals for damage dealt. However, we have so many ways to increase damage that Reaper is great. It's a shame that it's an exhaust card, but we are also fine with that. So I'm considering resting here. We get to add a card and also to heal. I don't think we have any card we want to upgrade too badly. Reaper just deals 1 more damage when upgraded. Perfect Strike is a good idea, however, I don't think it's obligatory. Let's see what we can find. Disarm. This lowers the enemy damage permanently for 3. I have never used it, but I'm very interested in giving it a shot. There are some units that attack multiple times for tiny hits, and a thing like that just makes them insanely weak. I don't think this is the case, so we're gonna cycle this for sure. And all of these are attacks that lets me use Clash, and I'm happy about that. I'll just cycle this. Perfect. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to one-shot this person. That sounds good. Brutal. And then we will double tap. Double up the boomerang. Is this a good idea? So, okay, this deals 12 damage right now. 14, 14. This applies weak. That's why we're gonna use it on this guy. That's pretty good. And then we get... okay, yeah, I forgot. This guy has a protection against debuffs, but I guess we applied already enough damage. Maybe 1 more attack. Oh, right, double tap. Perfect. We get an extra card, extra action. We get to use Flex. And then I can show you how Flex affects cards like this. Perfect. That was a nice turn. We get debuffs. Poor guy. He tried so hard. Perfect strike. Goodbye. I believe we should insist on the strikes because they keep accumulating. Wild strike. I'm not a fan of this because wounds. So wounds are permanent cards that are unplayable, and then you end up drawing a lot of them. Cleave is interesting, however the damage is pretty low for us right now. Flex Plus just is good. But we have a lot of them, right? Don't we? 1, 2... Okay, we have 2 flexes. It's not too many. Let's go for another flex. So, if I remember correctly, we had to go left because there's another elite over there. So let's go left. Open the chest, find gold, and upon pick, choose a skill card. At the start of each combat, this card will be in your hand. This is amazing. Apotheosis. We always want to begin with this. This is as good as it's gonna get. So what are we gonna upgrade? I think upgrading... Okay, so... Wow, upgrading now makes no sense because we always start with Apotheosis. And so we're gonna rest, heal up, and find a new card. This gives us... okay, so we cannot use this one because we never know when is the enemy going to attack us. So we're just gonna go for Anger. This tiny risk that we took cost us a little bit of knowledge. Okay, so between these two, I'm inclined in taking this path because it has a question mark and a merchant later. And the other way around, we may have preferred to have more things from the sorry, we may have gained gold that we want to use at the merchant later. So I take this path. It has a chest, that is amazing. Whenever we take damage, deal 3 back. This is not amazing. Go for the next battle. Okay, this may pay off immediately, however 3 is not a lot. We begin with Apotheosis, we just don't want this, and we would like this only if we find other things. So we're just gonna go for new cards. Apotheosis, deal damage to everything. Pommel Strike on this, see what else we find. More Pommel Strikes, I'm okay with that. However, I like using Metallicize. And then we'll take 1 more in case we find a free... Okay, we found Flex, but that's not what we want. I don't think I want to use any of these potions. Okay, we end the turn. The 10 block from the combo is pretty good. Some dazes. More damage. More damage. Okay, so we start with Panache always. I believe we want to draw cards at this point, so Pommel Strike is very tempting. This also gives us the action back because it's a kill. Perfect Strike is amazing, it's exactly what we want to see. We may want to use Dark Embrace first, because we're gonna exhaust some cards probably. We'll try flexing. Now this is a one shot, that's amazing. Madness is an exhaust, so we are happy because it gives us a card. Also it destroys everything because Panache activated. So using a lot of free cards in this moment is very effective. We get a kill here, and then we get a kill here. The combat is over. We don't win weak anymore, so we take the Swift Potion. And of these cards, I don't want any of them. I'll take the Cleave. Okay, so more 8 max HP, this is almost useless. Start of combat, heal 2 HP, we don't have enough combats to make that important. Oh, okay, this is a combo we like. So, Apotheosis will improve all the cards, and this card, when improved, reduces the cost of cards in our hand to 1 for the combat, which means it's a combo on itself. We just have to use the first 2 actions for that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So, I'm very inclined on buying that. Start of combat, gain 1 dexterity. Dexterity does for block what power does to attacks, so that's how it works. Let's get this, and let's see. Oh, Whirlwind. Okay, Whirlwind is amazing. I'm very inclined in buying it. Then we have a Warcry, and then we'll buy this one. And we have exactly enough to buy this one, which is a free attack, so we're gonna take it. Okay, time for another elite. Ooh, cool. So this guy, okay, let me... Warcry is fine. Strike, we don't need. This guy takes extra damage the more cards we play in the same turn. That's why I'm digging for tinier, cheaper cards. Start with Apotheosis, Warcry, draw 2. Get a normal strike below. Flex, Thunderclap. Pommel Strike for 2 cards. I guess this is fine. We can strike or cleave. Both deal very similar amounts of damage. That was a nice start. We get attacked by 7. That is fine. Oh, excellent. So we get to double tap. No, let's not do that. First Warcry. Find Enlightenment. This is amazing. We are gonna draw up the defend card. We cast Enlightenment, reduce Heavy Blade to 1. Now we can double tap. Then Heavy Blade. Then Twin Strike. And end with Metabolism, which I should have used first. But it's fine. I believe we get attacked again. For 13, we're fine, we survived. All of these look amazing. However, I'm inclined to start with Pommel Strike. See what we draw. More Pommels. Let's get that going. Madness, this could be amazing, but it goes to 1 defend card. We just use it because it's free. We use the Anger. And I believe 51 is a very good number. It's much better than this. Alternatively, I could dig for more, but we may not have enough power to use this. Not power, not enough actions. So let's just end with this. It was a very good turn anyway. Let's see what awaits us. We got weakened. This is a tiny bit of a shame. So we want to use this turn to improve our odds. Metallicize more, get this thing going, and then we'll just apply weakness, because we are weak, so we can weaken him as well. This time we have 14 armor. So I've let the countdown go, and then he starts doing stronger and stronger attacks. I believe he gains different chats, and maybe there's something hidden behind surviving a lot of turns of this unit. So maybe another time we're inclined in giving that a shot. However, right now we want to finish this off. So what we're gonna do is begin with the bash, continue with a swift strike, and then drop a perfect strike for 1,000,000,000. 91. What's this gonna do? Nothing different. Okay. I wonder if this deals 20 damage as expected. So what does it say? For each card placed this turn, take extra damage from attacks. Okay, so it only works for attacks. We could go for a draw 3, but I don't think we're gonna get anything special. So let's just hope that 14 armor is enough to negate this first damage. Tick tock. Okay, that's 8. We can survive the 8. Panache, Flex, Thunder, Pommel. Oh, excellent. Now we get to heal. Oop. That's pretty good. Toolbox. Starter with combat other random colors. Oh, this is amazing. So colorless cards are great, and especially when they are graded, which means we are gonna see some cool things. Seeing red is pretty good. It gives us extra actions, and it's an exhaust, so we may use it to cycle. Clash is also good, but seeing red is super good. And again, let's check. Maybe we do have now a card we want to upgrade. Actually, no. What am I saying? We always begin with Apotheosis. So we rest, even if it's useless because we are accumulating too much health. And we find yet another perfect strike. This is amazing. That card is so good. This is now the final boss, or in this case 2 bosses. And I'm super sad that I have no idea what will happen. Because I don't see the abilities. We consider what we want to replace. I think I want to find a way to let Madness hit the perfect strike. So we only cycle those 2. That's amazing. Okay, so in order: Apotheosis, Panacea, and we reach a point where we are. No, never mind. I can do this. We kill this. It looks uglier. We don't apply the weakness. That's a shame. But now we Madness, and now we look at that damage. This is not normal. Okay, so we have so many abilities with strike in the name that this goes from 6 to 108. I would say that's fair. Okay, that was good damage. Also Panache triggers. This looks good. Let's see how much damage we take. Okay, the damage begins. So we took a little bit of damage, and now we are ready to do an alpha strike. What this means is we trigger our potions, because why not? Okay. I believe we were dealing that much damage because the pen was on the 10th attack, and that explains why 104 seemed absolutely insane, because it was. Let's begin by flexing. We go for a Warcry to see what shows up. Dark Embrace, we wish we could have seen this one turn before. We put the defend down. Dark Embrace. Thunderclap. And then we start pummeling. Get more things. Find another flex. Almost get the kill, but maybe we get one of our free cards. We don't. I'm inclined to keep it going, so I want to use this, and I get punished. Okay, so we didn't find the card that would be free and let us kill this and then continue going. This makes me sad because now Metallicize will be in the discard pile and I'll have to wait forever until I get it. It was a tiny gamble, we didn't get it, it's fine. We take a bunch of damage, that's not good, and then this one starts buffing, that's also not good. Enlightenment, does it do anything? Yes, it reduces bash, that's good. We find another Metallicize. We start with Thunderclap. And now we can go for a bash over here. and also this, because why not? We draw a card also. We see the Pommel Strike. We see red. Keep drawing cards. And now heavy blade. Look at this. Okay, so we have 12 strength. And heavy blade deals 74. This one would deal 60. That's not enough. This one would deal 38. So yeah, heavy blade is... Oh, wait. This one costs 2, this one costs 1. So this is 60 plus 38. So this is better. Let's go with this. And that's a kill. Amazing. Okay, so it's good that my first run on stream was a success. We finish the match. So the game is supposed to be endless, which means whenever you reach the end, you get to add something to your score. I don't know what this is based on, but it then starts accumulating for yourself and then shows you what the rest of the world is doing. I believe this will never change. But it's a nice way to put everyone together in what they're doing. Alright, I believe this lets us... Don't be... that was close. This lets us unlock the last things for this unit. And now we're gonna play with the second character. What is this? Curse cards can now be played. That is crazy. Playing a curse makes you lose 1 HP and exhaust the card. I guess that's nice. Whenever you exhaust a card, add a random card to your hand. That's very pretty. I like this. When adding cards to your deck, you may gain 2 max HP instead. No, I like gaining cards. Okay. So we go back to the menu. And we will take a tiny pause. See you in a few minutes. And then we'll play with the other character. Maybe 5-10 minutes.